Alright guys, welcome to the Nexus Gaming series. Today we have a match between Heroic Difficulty and the UCF Death Knights. I'm getting better at saying that in Division A East. Today I am joined by Murphy. Murphy, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. It's first night casting, co-casting, so
Yeah,
gonna be a
welcome.
fun night.
Welcome to the team, man. Happy to have you. We're just gonna get straight into draft here. We're actually casting 2 games tonight, so we're trying to make sure that we have everything run on time here. Our first map between these teams are going to be on Towers of Doom. So pretty standard maps. The second map is also going to be on Infernal Shrines, which is I think a perennial NGS favorite map at this point. So it should be good. Just to fill you in, actually, real quick on the standings, if you have not been paying attention to Division A, Heroic Difficulty is in 5th place with 14 points, and UCF Death Knights, I'm just going to call them the Death Knights from now on, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
UCF, that's gonna be a tongue twister.
Yeah, they're actually in 6th place. Division A is actually pretty exciting right now because the Death Knights and Heroic Difficulty, Heroic Difficulty is actually in a 3-way tie for 3rd place right now. So they really are hoping for a domination victory here. On the other hand, the Death Knights are only 1 point behind, and so they're hoping to break into that top 3 with the domination as well. So expecting some good stuff to come out here. We do have the Diablo ban first, and followed by Hanzo. I think those are pretty standard bans to come out on this map, Infernal Shrines especially. Both heroes are known to be pretty powerful picks. What do you think about those?
I think the Diablo and Hanzo are a pretty standard ban. I know we usually ban Hanzo first on my team, so.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the more annoying people to play against. It looks like the Death Knights are going to go ahead and pick up ETC first. Pretty, not giving too much away there. Very versatile tank. A lot of zone control too, just being able to slide in and out of those shrines pretty easily. Okay, we'll see what Heroic Difficulty wants to pick up on their side. Let's see. I'm gonna look up something real quick on Heroic Difficulty. The Diablo actually is a pretty common pick for Heroic Difficulty, so both strong on the map, and also, the Death Knights doing a little bit of homework, making sure that their opponents don't get that pickup. We'll see what they want to go into after, the whole, I guess, what support nerf are we on? Oh yeah, sorry, we're on Towers of Doom right now, my bad. I'm jumping ahead to the second match. Thanks for catching that, man.
Yeah.
I haven't Sukov picked up. Really powerful.
Even after the Stukov nerf, he's still pretty strong. Still say he's one of the top 2 healers right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just playing him today, and he seems still, be pretty strong in most of the standard situations. So definitely still a strong pickup, especially on towers where you can just zone people off of the tower. It's not the shrine. Yeah. All right, Junkrat picked up for the Death Knights. Greymane. Alright, so they got their range poke damage and they got their finishing damage as well. I like those 2 pickups. They're opting to leave the support for the next 2 picks. So we might see a support choke on the side of Heroic Difficulty. We'll see if what they decide to go into there.
Yeah, now with Deckard being live, NGS, he's out there to get picked up.
I think you've been playing a lot of Deckard, if I remember correctly.
Yes, my past 4 games, I've actually ran Deckard for it because I've had the mouth ban on me.
Ah, well, I mean, it seems, at least from the numbers that I took a glance at, you were doing pretty well on Deckard. So, yeah, definitely an option. Has a lot of setup and sustain potential around the towers on this map. Yeah, we still haven't seen too much of Deckard, I think. So, I don't know. I can't actually talk about that too much because I have no idea. Alright. What are we gonna have?
It's gonna be an interesting. Lucio.
Lucio, okay. I think that is a target ban, I think. I believe. Okay. Yeah. why would you ban Lucio over Mouth?
Yeah.
I believe that is a target ban. And let me check to see it on Death Knights. I think Jackster plays a pretty mean Lucio. So definitely, doing homework. I think it's, know, it's likely going to be a Malfurion, so maybe they just think that they can deal with it. You know, maybe they're not.
I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled out the Uther either for the Divine Shield.
Yeah, we'll
Especially
see.
since it's so strong on towers.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things where I think, you know, Uther and Rhaegar, I think are going to come back into the meta a little bit with the slightly reduced power from Stukov and Malfurion. I'm hoping, you know, at least to see a bit more flexibility in supports. You get like the same two every single game, so.
Yeah, it's pretty much always the Malfurion Stukov, or one of them gets banned, and then the other team's just stuck with a random healer.
Right. Well, not random. All right. Haka and Johanna is the front line. I like that a lot. Johanna definitely for, you know, both Junkrat and Greymane. The Haka also able to get a lot of, you know, pressure in the side lanes.
Yeah, put the Haka in the top lane, and then he can eventually, after he gets his speed up, just split soak those top two lanes while they control the bottom.
Yeah, you know, we'll see how well they're able to make it work. It's definitely, you know, a possibility for the Death Knights to just engage before Dahaka gets there. So we'll just have to make sure that heroic difficulty is coordinating their team fights right. Also, you know, looking at their team right now, the heroic difficulty does run the risk of getting poked out a little bit, you know, with constant damage coming out from Junkrat. Yeah. But you know, that's with Stukov and Johanna, you should be able to sustain through that. So expecting to see some longer fights on their side.
They do go with
Malfurion. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, Malfurion only had some small changes to him. You know, I think it was like what 5% healing reduction.
Yeah, it was a really small change.
Yeah, so I mean, it hurts a little bit, but I don't think enough to really change this priority that much. So we see this is that team wants to go, dude. I'm ready for those fights. We'll see what heroic difficulty wants. Okay, looking at their team, what would you pick to kind of like break up that engage?
I mean, they need damage is what I'm looking at right now, and I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe a Gul'dan. That's what I would do, just because of how my team operates. But they already have the Junkrat and the Greymane, so they're suffering there.
Yeah, it's tough. Gul'dan definitely would be able to provide that Horrify CC in at least at level 10. They'd have to play safe until they get there, but you know, with Dahaka soaking the side lanes, definitely a you know, ability to.
And Towers of Doom is one of those later maps, and
they do it. They do it. Awesome. All right. So we'll see. So this is the team on heroic difficulty. I don't know if they really want to fight until they get that Horrify. It's gonna be, I think, a little difficult for them to withstand those initial engages. But you know, if they don't get picked and they get the XP lead with Dahaka soaking the side lane, it could be, you know, a completely different story in the mid to late game.
I agree with you.
Cool. All right. Hey, Professor Boba's hosting, I think. Awesome. Hey guys, welcome to heroic difficulty versus the UCF Death Knights. That is probably the only time you'll ever hear me refer to them as that. Cool. All right. Yeah. What do you think about these drafts? I kind of said what I think. What are you looking for?
I'd say they're pretty standard comps. The ETC Sonya, that's always a good combination, and then Greymane, it's always a great pickup anywhere. I'm interested to see the Maya because she's just a great character to see, especially after she just got nerfed again a little bit.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's gonna be seeing that.
Yeah. I think from what I've heard from some of my friends that have played Maya, they still like it. I mean, Maya still has the zone control and the ability to lock people down with the tethers. So I mean, her damage went down a little bit, but with Gul'dan there, it should, you know, if they get the right engages, you know, people will start just like falling left and right. So we'll see how it goes as we get into game. All right, we're gonna go ahead and introduce these teams. On the left side, we have heroic difficulty. We have French playing Gul'dan, Jamster playing Dahaka. We have Patience playing Stukov, Battlejet 86i, sounds like a printer, on Maiev, and Little Killer Pony on, that is Johanna.
Alright, and then for the UCF Death Knights, on Malfurion, who's taunting right now, we got Jackster37, obviously knows we're calling him out. Then on the ETC, we have Rock. On the Greymane, we have Ashvash. On the Sonya, on the Junkrat, my bad, we have Snipe. And on the Sonya, we have Crawdex.
All right. Also, just to fill people in, as I see some people in chat, this is a pretty important game for playoffs. The Death Knights are sitting just behind in 6th place, while heroic difficulty is in a 3-way tie for 3rd. So if either team gets a domination here, that will drastically improve their playoff chances. We're gonna have the teams just kind of doing their typical mid-lane battles. Like Johanna gets rooted there, but she's Johanna, so she should be just fine.
Yeah, just pops that trade and walks right out.
You already have Dahaka soaking in the top lane, so heroic difficulty knowing that they need to get that XP lead before they, you know, pick the fights that they want. Looks like they're gonna set up and do a 4-man rotation with Maiev kind of lurking in the mid lane to pick up that remaining XP. Okay, not too much action here. Junkrat is set up with the traps in the bush. He'll see that coming, no problem. Make sure that he plays safe. Yeah, I expect, you know, honestly, I feel like this game is going to be pretty passive for the first few minutes. As teams try to get picks, we might see an invade down on it, but, you know, it looks like that the Death Knights don't quite want to force that yet.
Yeah. They might want to engage on that they're just going to back off on that.
Yeah, it was one of the cases where I think that they're trying to stay even in XP, so Junkrat was still in the mid lane. Hold that thought though. He had an attempted engage on Rook and Ashbash there. Nothing really happening. Roots go down, silence go down, overlapping circles, and both teams just disengage completely. Teams continue to do their rotation. Junkrat is mostly using the traps, it looks like, to scout right now, which I like. Just making sure that he doesn't get picked and, you know, give heroic difficulty a further XP lead. Freeman's doing the scouting here. In the middle, gotta be a little bit careful. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to tether. Trying to get the pull. The silence field goes down, and the Death Knights are retreating, and successfully, it looks like. Both teams are like dead even in XP. The minion XP count is just, it's only about 200 apart. The heroic difficulty might have missed a few minions during that camp that it took, but it's not quite enough, you know, to give either team a lead right now.
We'll see what happens when the first towers spawn.
Yeah, I'd expect Dahaka and Sonya to grab their respective towers in the top lane. Yeah, I would not be too surprised. You know, Dahaka is gonna have heroic difficulty is gonna have a slight advantage, as Dahaka will be able to burrow down to the bottom lane, and you know Sonya's gonna have to walk. So we'll see how, you know, badly the Death Knights want this first tower.
And there goes the Dahaka.
Yep, he's coming in right now. He just gets the interrupt, but now it is a temporary 4v5. Maiev gets a tether. Nice silence on Greymane there to keep him locked down and get that early kill. Yeah, first blood going over to heroic difficulty. Some nice work there. You know, that's one of the things, you know, that the advantages that you get with Dahaka, just the ability to suddenly turn a 4v5 into you know, 4v4 into a 4v5. So just nice, solid work. You're gonna go ahead and pick up that seed camp. Minion got tethered all the way back. I don't think they know that it didn't die. Jamster finally cleaned it up. That was like the longest leash I've ever seen. I have going in for the tether again. It's on ECC though. He should be able to slide out no problem. Ooh, Dahaka gets the pull though. He might go down here if they manage to get a little bit more damage. Maiev gets the cleave, and ECC goes down. Wow.
That was a beautiful tongue.
Yeah, that's some nice layering of CC there, you know, making sure that like once one ends, Dahaka picks up the slack otherwise, and managing to get a nice pick there.
That was actually a beautiful route by the Malfurion, stopping the Dahaka from tunneling back up top, while this Sonya's just getting a ton of soak.
Yeah, so despite those 2 kills on the side of heroic difficulty, the Death Knights are still even in XP. Sonya's been alone, you know, in that top lane, as you pointed out. So it's a case where you don't have to fall behind when you get, you know, lose too many people. So they're still even on this talent tier, and we'll see if they want to contest this. Dahaka is up at the top. It looks like he's scouting out that camp. He has burrow in 32 seconds, so it's going to be a little bit of a hard fight for the heroic difficulty if they do want this. Going for the attempt Sonya gets pulled in. I don't know if you want to pull her all the way back there, though. She's spinning to win on 4 members of the team. French is in a bad position and goes down. This is, again, the problem as we spoke about before level 10. Gul'dan doesn't have that much CC. He just has damage. So once he gets horrified, that's a different story. But, you know, they're not 10 yet, so I'm go down there.
And again, this is a map that can last for a really long time, so it's anyone's game right now.
Yep, both teams even on the points here, 32 to 32. So no one really pulling too far ahead in the early game, either in XP or, you know, core damage. So I would expect this game to go down to the wire, honestly. These teams are pretty evenly matched, at least in the early game, and if they're able to keep this pace up, this is one of the most like even games I've seen recently. So it should be pretty tense when we get to late game. Heroic difficulty though needs to be careful. They are getting collapsed on by the Death Knights here. ETC going line for a slide, trying to get Gul'dan. Maybe get the tether on Junkrat, also on to Greymane, but Greymane waits for it and walks out. Rook's a little bit low. We'll see if he manages to get out. He does not quite make it. May have picking up that kill with a cleave. Ooh, alright. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, that was close. Almost. Malfurion didn't quite wait for the tether to expire. It was, you know, it's one of those situations where, like, you know, you played Malf, so you know that, like, sometimes you have to try to wait for it, but if you don't wait, you're gonna get, you know, pulled back and leaved anyway, so one of those things. Oh, I see what happens. Snipe actually has been knocking back these sappers so that they actually get knocked into the fort. Which I think that's some next level cheese, man. Like, he delayed that camp, and it looks like he's continuing to delay the tether, the leash, until the last possible moment. 10s are picked up by both teams, so they're fighting over this camp. Nice Horrify comes out. Malfurion gets the Twilight Dream, but only silences like 1 or 2 people. And, you know, that Horrify directs Greymane and Malfurion into their team. Yeah, you know, Heroic difficulty not wasting a moment with Sonya up in the top lane and, you know, wanting to pick that Horrify. I feel like Death Knights got a little bit baited by their own cheese there.
Yeah, the ETC stepped up hoping to get the W, but that Stukov silence just shut him down instantly.
Yeah, but you know, it's you not when you do that, like, you set up the capture point not only for yourself but also your team, and you know you're walking into like a 2v4, so might have been a case where they should have just given that up and contested the altars, but you know, pretty big advantage now for Heroic difficulty. It's 32-24, so they did get both altars, so that's 8 points of damage. They also managed to convert the bottom bell tower, so they will now have an extra like shot if they manage to keep it. Doesn't look like they'll be able to for long though. Death Knight's responding very quickly to that.
Yeah, that was you have to make that move where you just send everyone bot to get that tower bot.
Yep, they are making a play to, you know, defend this. Nice mosh pit comes out on, let's say, one person. It's interrupted by by Stukov and also by ETC dying, so maybe not as good as we initially thought. You know, Death Knight's attempting to, you know, kind of break that siege that Heroic difficulty is set up, but not quite able to get any kills before the rest of Heroic difficulty showed up.
Yeah, when you're fighting under an enemy tower, there's just nothing you can do, really.
Yeah. It's tough. They almost made it work. They did almost manage to, I think, it was either, I don't remember if it was Gul'dan or Maiev in that fight, but they almost managed to get them down, but weren't quite able to do that, and they do also lose, you know, 3 additional points from the sappers getting pushed in to their kill zone. They're trying to get some disruption, trying to see if he can pull someone back. He doesn't quite land. Death Knight's in a rough position though. They're fighting downtown, tier 13 to 11. I don't know if they're going to try to get this. Sonya's trying to get in for the interrupt, going real deep trying to get Stukov. So she is standing through the whirlwind, pops her ultimate as well, but they're just taking too much damage from Gul'dan. They're not able to get back there and, you know, get the damage on him that he needs. Almost manages to get Gul'dan back into the fort. Greymane gets horrified and taken out, no problem. Yeah, you know, I feel like this is just Heroic difficulty playing their comp really well. They knew that they couldn't fall behind early, and they did just that. And now they are leveraging the CC that they have with Gul'dan's Horrify.
They're just dominating at this point.
Yeah. Go ahead and taking up the boss as well. You know, maybe this will be a little bit shorter than we thought. But
Yeah.
it's still towers, you know, it's still time. There's still time for the Death Knights to, you know, slow the pace down a little bit, soak back up to even talent tiers, and take a fight. Nice zoning routes by Malfurion. Might go in on that. She does have
And they
Warden's
do
Cage.
engage.
Yeah, they do. Malfurion not
Oh,
able to get out of the
beautiful
silence
silence.
field. Yeah, that's so good. That's also unfortunate. Death Knights didn't actually manage to capture that camp before Heroic Difficulty walked up and was like, "This is actually ours, thanks." Uh,
Yeah, and you can't take that fight down a talent tier either.
mhm.
You just gotta get out of there as soon as you can.
Yeah, it was rough. I think they thought that they could capture it before Heroic Difficulty showed up, but the silence combo with the Warden's Cage is just, oof, that is rough. Stukov also went for the root talent at 14, so it's, you know, if you get caught in Warden's Cage, I don't think you're really gonna get out, you know, alive.
If Heroic Difficulty plays their cards right, they can end it right here.
There is a chance. I don't know if they are going to be able to convert that bottom bell tower. I think Death Knights know this, so I think they're gonna try to build down a talent tier. I think they're gonna try to convert at least. Oof, yeah, no, this is rough. They need at least one, so I think they're gonna try to do the safe way and capture the top right immediately.
The time is now, heroes.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Heroic Difficulty has the advantage, so I don't think they're going to push that very hard. You know, why bother? Oof, the power slide just barely misses on Gul'dan. He's in a little bit of a tough position, surrounded on all sides. Someone just trying to spin in the middle of the team, but Twilight Dream takes out ETC, and, you know, the Honka and Gul'dan take out Sonya, looks like. Nice.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard to just take those
Oof,
fights.
they just took that bell tower too. Yeah, that is the game, I believe, actually. That last minute conversion onto the bell tower manages to take Heroic Difficulty the victory. Wow, really nicely played by Heroic Difficulty there.
And again, they just acted patient, waited until they got their 10s, and then they had the hard CC engage.
Yeah, well, I mean, the only kill they gave up in that entire game was Gul'dan in the early game. Like, just really well played by Heroic Difficulty. It kind of, you know, throwing down a challenge to the Death Knights, you know, saying that if you want to break into this top 3 tie, you're gonna have to, you know, play at their level basically. So, you know, the Heroic Difficulty looking real good as they try to get their domination victory and, you know, get the standings in their favor as they go into the last week before playoffs. So, you know, nice solid showing. Cool. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. I'm going to throw the talents up, and we're going to go ahead and get the second game set up for you guys. We'll be right back. All right, everyone, welcome back to Game 2 of Heroic Difficulty versus the UCF Death Knights. The Heroic Difficulty coming out real strong in that first game. What'd you think, Murphy?
I thought it was a great showing overall. The Maiev was excellently executed, especially those Stukov combos. There's just nothing you can do when you get pulled into those silences.
Yeah, definitely difficult. Yeah, you know, we were talking about, we saw you talking in chat random task. I think I agree. I do think that UCF had the, you know, right tools to deal with that composition. But I think, you know, maybe got a little bit, you know, too excited or got too worried that they were falling behind early on towers. And, you know, that game does go late. So, you know, maybe just a little bit more patience, making sure that there aren't even talent tiers before they commit anything would have been good. We'll see if they, you know, that was honestly a pretty rough game, rough first game for the Death Knights. So, you know, I'm hoping they're able to recover and put up a strong showing here.
Straight out Hanzo ban again.
Oh yeah, we are on shrines. Like, I was talking about shrines in the first game. I got too excited. All right, we actually do see the same bans though, so you know, I guess, you know, I'll just take like copy and paste my comments from like the first game onto this game.
And
we have the first. Okay, we have the first. Okay, we will see what adjustments will be made here. Okay, Stukov getting picked up by the Death Knights. They didn't want to deal with the silence, you know, Warden's Cage combo. But you know, honestly, you could pull off similar things with a Malfurion and a Maiev. So we'll see if Heroic Difficulty opts into that. Garrosh. Yeah. So Garrosh was banned out in the first game, so we'll see, what the Death Knights are able to do with Garrosh on their team this time. Should be good. Garrosh, one of the, I guess, more prominent tanks in the meta these days.
Yeah, you pretty much either see him banned or in every game.
High participation rates. Yeah, I would actually kind of expect heroic difficulty to run a Malfurion, but they do also have the option of Alex on Infernal Shrine. I believe, do they have someone who plays Alex? I feel like everyone should have someone who plays Alex. I personally
Yeah,
I really like Alex.
I enjoy playing her too, but she's one of those heroes where if you just have a diver, they get in your back line, you're done for.
Yeah, that might be yeah, definitely true.
Yeah, all the main healing just comes from her Q, and once her health's down, she's not able to heal anyone.
Yeah, so it looks like they might be weighing their options there, or considering maybe they want to pick up their front line. Okay, they pick up the Gul'dan and ETC once again. Well, I mean, Gul'dan once again. ETC is on their side now. Yeah, ETC one of those tanks that's able to, both main tank and also has a pretty easy means of escape from Garrosh. Can just power slide right over him if he gets tossed back. So I do like that pick.
It seems like heroic difficulties prioritizing Shrine Clear right now, so it's going to look like they're going to want to go for the objective.
Definitely. Yeah. Gul'dan also a huge amount of Shrine Clear. Maiev as well, I think. Does Maiev cleave hit minions? Does it? Might just be heroes. I can't remember. But if that does actually cleave, does the Maiev cleave actually like hit the minions on the shrine? Because it's one of those things that if it does, like you can clear those out real fast.
I know her cleave hits minions, so I would assume
it
hits monsters too.
Yeah. So that's one of those things. Then if you're able to get those resets on the shrine, you're gonna just kind of inadvertently clear up a whole bunch of them, which is it's one of those. When you're taking a team fight, you don't really look at the minion count, right?
Yeah,
so
that is true.
It's one of those things that can definitely sneak up on you when you're fighting on the shrine, and also with Gul'dan, of course, like the minions just be falling left and right. So Malfurion is banned out. I do like that ban a lot, actually, because we saw how effective the Maiev combo was before, and they just did not want to repeat that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see a Deckard pick here.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Just because warding cage into his roots is extremely good, especially with the mosh pit.
Yeah, that's definitely if they do go Deckard, that is a large amount of wombo setup for sure. Yeah, I don't actually know how well. I mean, Deckard I think would play pretty well on the shrines. The amount of zone control that he has is like ridiculous. And you're able to create these really tight choke points, and manage you can lock people down and just do whatever you want at that point.
Especially with the Lornado. Just pulling them right back in.
That's a good point. Oof, yeah, Lornado on the shrines is nasty. Just because like the entrances are all so narrow. We do see Blaze and Junkrat picked up for the Death Knights here. Junkrat always, solid. We saw that I think it was played pretty well in the last game, but wasn't quite as effective as they might have hoped. I think it was difficult to disrupt something like a Johanna, right? Because you go indestructible, walk over all the traps. So I think they'll have a little bit of a better time. I wonder if they'll. What do you think?
I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Dahaka again.
I was gonna say,
Dahaka was played excellently.
Right, I was thinking it could have been Johanna again, but I think looking at it, I would also lean towards the Dahaka pick on this map.
Either Dahaka or Sonya, I can see picked up.
All right, random test. I'm looking at the chat as it is 2 minutes behind, but I think random task does agree that it does hit the minions. So Maiev is gonna have a substantial amount of clear when team fighting on the shrine. I'm actually really excited to see what the support pick is, because I feel like it might be Alex or potentially a Deckard.
The Dahaka?
Oh, it's Rhaegar.
Right.
Okay. Alright, okay. That's fine. Rhaegar able to, get the cleanse out for Garrosh's taunts, and has a solid amount of burst healing for whatever dive the Death Knights pick. Also, just solid, shrine clear as well. As you were saying, like, everyone on the team basically has a way to AoE clear the shrine. So, as you said, like, heroic difficulty is definitely drafting for that shrine control.
Again, having that cleanse is also helpful, which I know Deckard doesn't bring to his kit. And Blaze's lockdown can be really good.
Yeah, Yeah, so I think that's a pretty solid pickup. Definitely, with the Kael'thas. All right. I was thinking it would be some sort of burst, and Kael'thas is one of those. He did get reworked a bit, but he is one of those zone control mages that definitely is able to, push the team off of a shrine and force them to split up.
And all of his talents are available now, because there was a bug on him for a while, which was pretty funny.
That was a pretty funny bug, yeah. Yes, so Pyroblast is legal once again, if you do want to do that. You can make a case for it here, though, I think. If you really wanted to take Gul'dan out, just Pyroblast him. But then you run the risk of Rhaegar just casting Ancestrals, so...
Yeah.
Some mind games there. Anyway, okay. Yeah, Heroic Difficulty definitely drafted real well for the Shrines looking at it. There's just a really just huge amount of clear on that side. Death Knights also do pretty well there. Blaze, Junkrat, Kael'thas being able to do the AoE clears and Stukov silences, managing to take those out as well. So,
great zoning control.
Yeah, both teams have, I think, some pretty solid team fight, and we'll see. Hopefully Death Knights will be able to execute slightly better in this game. I'm really looking forward to it, and I think they can do it. So, we'll see how it goes as we get into game 2. Alright, once again, in blue, we have Heroic Difficulty. We have French playing Gul'dan once again. Battlejet 68i on Maiev, Jamster on Dahaka, Little Killer Pony on ETC, and Patience on Rhaegar.
Alright, and then for UCF Death Knights, we have Jackster 37 on Stukov, Rook on Blaze, Snipe on Junkrat, Codex on Garrosh, and Ashbash on the Kael'thas.
Alright. The pretty standard talents coming out here. We do have a bunch of stacking quests, so we will try to keep you updated on that. A lot of region globes. We have Kael'thas going into Mana Addict and ETC going, it looks like Prog Rock. Pretty standard there. We'll see who's able to pick up more globes as the teams just kind of move to the mid lane and start to fight. Maybe.
Now, it is interesting, Dahaka actually not taking the race car talent for number 1, where he's going more for that sustained fight.
Yeah, Dahaka opting for tissue regeneration. Definitely opting for that sustained. ETC does get thrown back. He's tempting fate here with that trap. And that gamble play paid off. Yeah, I think Rhaegar, the one problem with Rhaegar in the early game though is that the sustain that he has is definitely not quite comparable to Stukov. So we will see if Heroic Difficulty manages to get the quick kills that they need to make these fights go in their favor. Because otherwise, at level 4, Rhaegar is going to get completely out-sustained by Stukov with one good spread. So, see. Alright, team's just going ahead and rotating between the lanes. Heroic Difficulty once again opting for some early camp control. Go ahead and take the siege camp real quick in between their rotations. They go ahead and pick that up and move to the mid lane to push with it. Looks like they go ahead and pick up that minion wave. I don't actually think they lost much XP there, if any. So that was some nice timing. Good wave control there. They might have missed one in the bottom.
It seems like we're just doing a standard 4-man rotation on the Batu lanes.
Yeah, I'm actually intrigued by this too because both teams are doing this exactly asymmetrically, so they're not really running into each other, and no one's really trying to force any picks. So, both teams just content to do the rotation. Heroic Difficulty, I think, has a little bit of a tempo advantage though because they managed to pick up that bottom siege camp. So it's going to be just an extra thing that Death Knights will have to clear as the team of Heroic Difficulty rotates between their lanes. Oh, 4 talents coming out. Rhaegar goes ahead and picks up the Healing Totem, which is definitely one of those critical talents at level 4 that gives his team a lot more sustain. Some of those sneaky things that you don't always really notice, but definitely provides a lot more healing output for Rhaegar. Stukov, of course, goes for one good spread, so we will see who is able to turn the fights in their favor and is able to do it fast enough.
Now, this is interesting. The UCF Death Knights not actually going for their Bruiser when the Shrine's activating.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and pick up the Siege Camp. I don't think they're going to go ahead and do the Bruiser Camp. Definitely Heroic Difficulty having a lot more lane pressure for this Shrine. It looks like they're going to try to do it anyway, but Definitely heroic difficulty timing that exactly right, making sure that the top camp is pushing during the shrine. Looks like it's going to be cleaned up pretty quickly as Death Knights pick up their bruiser camp and move over to the shrine. Also good timing by Death Knights too, honestly. Like they're down 15 minions, so I guess they gave up half of the shrine already. If they're able to find an entrance to this fight, they should be able to turn it and even up the score a bit. Nice CC on ECC. I don't know if he's gonna be able to get out. Kael'thas takes him out. Nice toss by Garrosh there.
Yeah, that was beautiful lockdown on their part.
Yeah, ECC not able to slide away if he's like CC'd the entire time. So really nice work there. Definitely showing that they're still a force to be reckoned with. Dahaka now too. Dahaka is not able to escape nearly as easily. He does walk away. He does have that level 1 talent that gives him a little bit more sustain from his essence. Junkrat being just a pain in the butt here. Getting that.
And they do have that. They do have that shaman camp pushing top, which is a huge advantage to them.
Yeah, that gamble definitely paid off for them. I think. Being able to get that pick onto ETC, take the shrine, being down 20 minions, and taking the Punisher, the first Punisher of the game.
Yeah, as long as your opponents don't get those 40 minions, you get the Punisher.
That's true. That is true. Heroic difficulty. Ooh, that pulling my head behind the wall. Rhaegar's trying to get a heal on her, and she does manage to. She does manage to teleport back, but Junkrat being super sneaky had a trap there and just pushes her back. Rhaegar is down as well, trying to save my teammate, but just not quite able to there. Yeah, Death Knight's pulling ahead with a bit of an XP lead. Heroic difficulty wasn't able to soak all of the lanes during that push. They do lose out a bit on the bottom lane. Death Knights do as well, but those 2 kills, I think, definitely make up for it. Alright, level 7's coming out. Rhaegar goes ahead and picks up Cleanse, of course. Pretty standard to me. Then again, I only really play support, so...
Yeah,
I should like learn all the talents at some point, I think.
They seem like pretty standard builds. I know Gul'dan, the Bonds of Shadow, or Bonds by Shadow, that's the talent I like to pick, but I know higher level play, people like to take the extra spell damage because you have that extra damage on you.
Yeah, the reduced cooldown is definitely nice though, or burning down a front line. So you can understand that a bit. Death Knight's gonna go ahead and try to keep up the rotation. Heroic difficulty needs to hit level 10, so right now they definitely need to soak without giving up too many kills. Looks like Jamster is being scouted out here for a potential gank. He tries to go for the minion wave. We'll see if Jackster's able to lock him down. Does get the silence, does get slowed, trying to get body blocked by Blaze. He should be fine. Blaze does get pulled back into the towers, but he's Blaze, he's fine. I think. Yeah, he's good. Meanwhile, we have an invade. Heroic difficulty going for the siege camp here. Garrett's getting knocked back. Just Garrett's also having none of it.
UCF Death Knights does not have their healer there, so they can't engage fully.
That's fine though. They're taking their time. Garresh is now on the point. Sukov is there. He might get taken out here. Maiev pushed back into the fort. He goes down. ETC goes down as well, as does Garresh. So the tanks have been removed from this fight. Level 10s get picked up immediately from Death Knights. The Riptire coming out, trying to get Rhaegar. I think he will probably... Yes, Jackster got the slow, so that should be a dead Rhaegar, no problem. I think Heroic difficulty still managed to steal that camp.
Yeah, they did have it, actually.
Ooh, look out, Fringe. Oh, no, he's... Oh, not good. He does have Horrify. He does use it. And we'll see if Junkrat's able to get the displacement. Hail just roots him down before any of that's needed, and he goes down anyway. A little unfortunate. He did burn that Heroic, trying to escape, but he didn't hit everyone, so not able to, prevent his death there.
Yeah, we do have the Mosh Pit Warden's Cage combo.
Oh, buddy.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we'll just hope that... Well, I mean... What about the next level play of hitting everyone with a Horrify so they get bounced back by the Warden's Cage into a mosh pit? Not even a chance to interrupt. Yeah, you'll see if they're able to pull it off. Dahaka goes for isolation as well, so really hoping to, focus down, make sure that, that mosh pit doesn't get interrupted. Yugov goes for Flailing Spike though, so he'll be able to stand back pretty far and get that, interrupt going.
Now it's interesting. We have it reversed actually this time, where heroic difficulty has the minion camp pushing top, and that Dahaka can come in whenever.
Yep, looks like he's going to right about now. The camp is at the walls. Ooh, taunt goes out before Warden Cage goes down. We'll see. There goes the Warden's Cage. Jaxter's caught in the middle of it. Uses the Flying Swipe. Nice Ancestral, keeping ETC alive there. Really nice work. Is there gonna be much? Here comes the Horrify.
There's the Horrify.
Yep, look, this fight is very split. Maiev is trying to get into the back line. He's easy to get thrown back. Junkrat's gonna be able to take him out. No problem. Yeah, wow. Fight happening on two fronts there. UCF Death Knights harassing the backline with Maiev. Not quite able to get the damage out for a kill. Just really solid work by both supports there. Like, that Ancestral was super good. But wasn't quite enough to keep him alive. Heroes get pulled. Punisher's not paying attention. Gilda's to the rescue though. The Hugger gets done. Junkrat's displacement is just... you know,
that Junkrat is just on point today.
Yeah, you know, after the first game, he was like, alright, you can't just walk over it this time. So, really showing us, you know, just without a Johanna, it's way easier to lock down members of heroic difficulty.
Now, heroic difficulty was able to take that top tower with that mage while all that was going on.
Yep. So that is a even trade in terms of structures for heroic difficulty. They're still down a little bit in XP, mostly from the kills. It is 10 kills to 1 on the side of the Death Knights. If they're able to, you know, I'd like them to just... Okay, well, they're going to try to get this pick on Garrosh. I was going to say, I'd like to see them calm down a little bit and just focus on soaking up to the next talent tier. But if they get this pick, Stukov getting the interrupts. They get this pick with a fight with a 45. Yeah, Blaze is in the mid lane, so it might... They're really trying to get Blaze, and he's just not having it.
Yeah, ETC was looking for that mosh pit, but they knew it was coming.
Yeah, you know, you know, I just can't believe Garrosh managed to just walk out of there alive. Really showing the value that his trait gets, and doing some real solid work body blocking for his team, and just making sure that, you know, heroic difficulty doesn't get the engage that they want. Heroic difficulty will still managing to get a solid bit of map pressure. The fort does go down in the mid lane. That fort was basically dead to begin with, so not too surprising there. Blaze trusting that his team wasn't gonna pick a 4v5 fight and pushing that down instead.
Yeah, and that's split soaking those two lanes, almost a 2-level lead. It's just huge for them.
Yeah, definitely trying to get that level 16 before the next Shrine phase. I don't think heroic difficulty will have enough time to catch up unless they get a substantial number of picks here. So, you know, Death Knights don't have to force anything. It's really on heroic difficulty to try to get the kills that they need to get back in the game. You know, they also need the minion XP, of course, but that can only do so much when you're down, you know, 2 levels. That gets pulled back. He does, you know, get silenced, taunted. The Junkrat grenade is gonna just place everyone here.
And
I think that was an
interrupted the
attempted
mosh.
Yeah, so ETC
It
isn't
is on
forcing
a
it to
10
go down.
second.
Yeah, that was a nice interrupt, but ETC does get interrupted, pushed back behind the walls, and eventually goes down. Jaxter almost dies to I don't know what, I think Goldam is doing damage over time there still. It gets, survives, I think it was like 57 health or something. Alright, yeah, you know, I do, you know, props to heroic difficulty though for like trying to take that fight. That's definitely, if they're able to get a few picks there, they would definitely be in really good shape for the next shrine. As it is though, they're still behind 2 levels, and they will likely still be behind like a talent tier for the next shrine phase. Yeah, there it is. So Death Knight's gonna Death Knight's gonna go ahead and pick up level 16 here, and heroic difficulty is gonna have to decide if they want to pick a fight or just push. It looks like they're gonna give up this. I like this.
Yeah, you can't go in on 16.
You can't. Yep, definitely. I do like this. They're gonna go ahead and soak up the lanes. I also like the Death Knights, you know, realizing that heroic difficulty is not going to commit to the shrine, you know, sending Kel'Thuz to potentially pick up some of that extra, you know, minion soak. He's back up in the top lane though. I think looks like they're just gonna try to burn this shrine to the ground, take it real fast. You know, makes sense. The faster you take the shrine, the faster you have to force your opponent to respond. It looks like heroic difficulty is gonna go ahead and pick up this bottom fort, so I like this a lot. Yeah, this is going to get them back close to level 16. They should be able to pick up level 16 for the defense of the Punisher. So even though they lose all forts, are they going to go for keep?
They might go for keep.
They'll go for keep. Yeah, oh wow.
Yeah, we have Stukov and Junkrat Harthing.
There's still a little bit of time. I think they're going to go ahead and try to pick up walls. Yes, I think they're... Well, I think they're probably going to try to give up the top forts. Or... What do you think? Do you think they're going to go for it? I don't think
Again,
they
they
have the minion wave.
They still have that top fort, so they don't have to worry about a Punisher pushing on keep.
Yeah, so they're gonna go ahead. I like this. So they got the walls, and they're gonna go ahead and retreat and clean up the Punisher in the top. So that gets them even back to level 16. I really like that play from heroic difficulty. It's just really important to know that like it's not the end of the game from this Punisher, and you should definitely, instead of fighting over the shrine that you don't need, you should just get yourself back in the game through other means.
And again, they now have that bottom lane open up if they do want to fight for that Punisher next phase.
Yeah, Punisher's going to be in the middle or bottom since it's on top. We don't know which one. It's a little random. Ooh, Hage gets thrown back over. He took the burrowing, the movement while burrowed. I like that too. A little more survivability. Illiforni gets out with just 250 health. Not quite enough damage there. Isolation actually did go out on Garrosh. Preventing him from using... I think he already used the taunt, so just, you know, preventing any further displacement. Actually, yeah. Go ahead.
I know you, as a fellow support main, play Stukov every now and then. What do you think of the level 16 talent that he went?
Super Strain. Okay, I like Super Strain quite a bit, but in this case, I don't know if I like it as much as I would normally. Okay, no, I'm looking at their hero choices now. Yeah, no, I think it's actually pretty solid because if you get hit by Maiev and ETC and everything, it actually gives a substantial amount of healing. But hang on,
might be looking for a mosh here.
Yeah, nice
there
mosh.
It is.
Yeah, they got the Warden's Kids mosh pit there. Just Death Knight's getting lured into this siege camp bottleneck, and when the Warden Kids went out, the bunker went out as well, so it kind of trapped everyone in Death Knights there. The bunker kind of baited them. And they do give up 4 kills, and I believe this is going to be a keep.
Yeah, this might be game, actually. They play it right.
Potentially, yeah. If they manage to pick off Junkrat here, it is looking like it's possibly game. It was really good engage. It happened all so fast, too. I thought I had time to talk about talents, guys. You're just going way too fast. Okay, so...
Okay, they are going to back off.
Yeah, you know, we've seen heroic difficulty just have really smart, you know, just... like macro play, and they're definitely watching the death timers on the side of the Death Knights, because it's one of those things where the minion wave was cleaned up and the Death Knights have fully respawned. They don't have the talent advantage, and they can't quite end right, you know. So they're...
Gul'dan will go and take the bottom camp now. They left it there after that.
It's
huge
true,
fight.
yeah. I think there might have been like a couple things there, but yeah, Gul'dan going ahead and picking that up. Yeah, with that fight, heroic difficulty able to turn the game back into their favor. They now have the 1 level lead, forcing the Death Knights to, you know, now the burden is on them once again to pick a fight. Yeah, I was also gonna mention before you asked me about the talents that I don't know if heroic difficulty was keeping track of the ultimate, like the heroic cooldowns, but Death Knights didn't have any available except for I think it was Bunker and maybe Stukov's flank fight. All their big cooldowns were used in the previous push, so it was definitely the case where that was like the fight that heroic difficulty wanted. ETC got displaced behind the walls, so. Nice pickup there. Death Knight's getting ever so much closer to evening up the talent tiers. America did use Riptire though, so that's going to be 1 heroic down. I would like to see Death Knights actually set up on the shrine and try to push their numbers advantage for like the 40 more seconds that they have it. It looks like they agree, but heroic difficulty is having none of it. They're just going for it, man. You know, I think they really want this fight before 20, and I definitely understand it because you know, as soon as ETC comes up, if Death Knights don't have level 20, they're gonna have a real bad time. And okay, they might be chasing a bit too far now.
Yeah, that Dahaka's out of there.
Yeah, he's out. He's out. Yeah, yeah. Now that heroic difficulty themselves are back on the shrine, and with ETC spawning in 3 seconds, the window of opportunity is very quickly closing for the Death Knights. I think they know this, and they're trying to get a position on the shrine. Heroic difficulty still a little bit of ways from 20. Maya's gonna go ahead and Ray are gonna go ahead and pick up the top minion wave in an attempt to get there. They will have it. Death Knight's
Still trying to get that fight.
yeah,
before
I
20.
don't know if they're gonna do it. All right,
And
Heroic
they do have
difficulty-
20. Beautiful
man.
Mosh.
Yep, that was beautiful. Yeah, you know, it was a bait. We're just gonna want just heroic difficulty clean up the Death Knights there. It's you know
Probably
using.
gonna go bot and just end.
I think so, yeah. I feel like that was using the Death Knight's desperation to get a fight pre-20 against them because they just ran into a team that had, you know, Maiev and ETC. So, you know, Warden's Cage goes out, Smosh Pit lands on like 3 people, there's not a chance to interrupt, or everyone just dies, basically.
And there's nothing you can do when that Warden's Cage comes and you get pulled in.
Well, especially, you know, into a Mosh Pit too, you know? No escape
Yeah.
from behind, you're just gonna get bounced back into it. Heroic difficulty manages to take the domination victory up 2-0 over the UCF Death Knights. This puts them into really nice positioning for the playoffs. They are temporarily ahead in that 3-way tie. I believe that puts them in 3rd. Let me go ahead and actually pull up the league standings real quick. But yeah, that's a really, you know, really good positioning for them. Also, you know, heroic difficulty demonstrating that, you know, they can play really well from behind and ahead. So, nice work there. That was a really strong showing by them. Actually,
Just being patient and you can come back and win any game.
yeah, it's true. Heroic difficulty actually is temporarily in 2nd place with that domination victory. So, that is that's really good for them going into the playoffs. I'm sure they're real happy about that. Andy, what other thoughts you have about that game?
I think honestly, this game just came down to soaking the XP, and Dahaka at one point was at a huge disadvantage in comparison to Blaze's soak, just because they lost those first Immortals, but just split soaking back and forth.
Mm.
They ended up getting back in that.
Yeah, that
And
was
just
really
looking at the
solid play.
stats, almost 4,000 more XP for Dahaka instead of Blaze.
Yep.
And that's basically a level lead right there. That
Yeah.
got him those 20s, which made him freak out.
Yeah, that's yeah. It's like textbook how to play from behind on Infernal Shrines. So, we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna see if we can get someone on heroic difficulty over here for an interview. Be right back. All right, everyone. We are joined by the 2 team members from heroic difficulty. We have Jamster and BattleJet86i with us. Congrats, guys. Congrats on that really solid 2-0. How do you feel?
Great.
Yeah, pretty good.
Let's see. If Joe's won their other series, then we're still 1 point behind them. But if they drew, then we're tied for 2nd place.
Mhm,
And
I know.
That's
Yeah.
that's a good feeling.
I know they were watching. So, yeah, that definitely puts you guys in a good spot for playoffs. So we will come back to that. Actually, just wanted to talk to you about the 2nd game. Tell us about, you know, playing from behind, because, you know, Murphy and I were watching and we really liked what you guys did during that Punisher up top when you basically sacrificed the fort to get even. Tell us about, you know, that kind of like that shot call. Like, who was making those decisions?
Mostly battle.
Well, I don't know. It's sort of the team. Like, we just found out that like works for us. Like, it's just through trial and error, and then we just kind of sort of know what to do. It's, I don't know. We just like one person just points it out, and we're mostly all on the same page.
It was relatively risky calls, honestly, because while we could easily get 1 fort and maybe we could have gotten the 2nd fort too, like if they had 5-man top, they could have easily gotten keep wall. I think they did get keep wall anyway. Like it could have been a lot more risky.
Really good. It definitely paid off. Speaking of risk, actually, talk to me about that you know, period of time at level 19, where you were trying. It looked like you were trying to distract so you could have ETC back up for that level 20 fight. What was that like?
It was more of us wanting 20 more than wanting ETC back, but both were good, and they ended up happening around the same time.
Yeah.
I'm-
Yeah. Sorry.
Stream was on a delay, so I got to see the last fight. It looked like we baited that and coordinated it really well. I promise you, it was panicked.
Well, it definitely looked coordinated on our end. So, it looked convincing for us.
We were just planning on stalling and soaking 20 since the objective takes like some time to do. And we're like hoping to get ATC back and just engage. And then when we saw the engage, we sweated a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so speaking of your engages, like in both the first and the second match, it's some really solid like Maiev Warden's Cage combos. Is that just something that you guys like running a lot, or is that something you practiced, or it looked kind of dirty on our end from the casting point of view, but I'm sure it felt pretty good.
Well, Battle's a little modest, but generally we throw him on a character and he does well, whether that's Medivh or Maiev or Alarak sometimes.
Yeah, it's like with Maiev especially, it's if she gets like an engage, like the fight's pretty much sealed for the most part. Like if you have like the right comp, it's yeah. If you get on their back line.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely scary. So, Murphy, got any questions for heroic difficulty here?
I know you're the solo laner, Jamster, and I personally think solo laners are what actually carry the teams, just because of the XP. So what was going through your mind when you guys were actually down on Infernal Shrines on the early game?
I did a lot of scouting on this team, and I was terrified of Kodiak's Leoric. Like, he picked some weird builds, but this dude has some god tier entombs, and he ended up being on the Garrosh instead of Leoric, but that's the only reason we banned Leoric's second ban phase, because I didn't want to deal with it in the solo lane.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, I guess Death Knights is in their name, so I guess I can understand that. Cool. All right, guys. Well, let's see. What is the path to playoffs for you guys? I think you're in the running now with that domination victory for sure.
Isn't playoffs top 8?
I think
right?
so. So I think you probably secured it pretty handily.
Is it top 8 for Div A or top 8 Div A East and top 8 West?
I believe it is top 8 Div A East and then top 8 Div A West. And then,
okay. Yeah, I think we have that.
Yeah, I think we have it pretty securely. But what do you think of the how's the playoffs outlook looking for you guys?
Well, I know we lost to Jailbait and Game Freaks early in the season, but we were still ironing out a lot of wrinkles as a team because we were new to playing together. I think if we went up against them now, that we'd have a better showing. So the only teams that we're really worried about right now is A Greek and Joe's. I think Joe's are like toe to toe with us, and
yeah, Greek is
we will see next week when we play A Greek during the season.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. All right, we should all keep an eye out for that match because I think that's gonna be pretty good.
It should be fun.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. Murphy and I gotta go and get another cast prepared. So, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for casting us.
Yeah, thanks for casting.
No problem. All right, that about does it for me and Murphy for this Division A game. We are going to go ahead and take a quick break ourselves and be back for a matchup in Division C. I need to actually look up who it is. It is going to be Pathetic Wretches versus 4+1. So join us at what is it going to be? 8:30 Pacific? I'm really bad at time zones, guys. 8:30 Pacific.
So in 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Join us in 20 minutes. We will be back then.